Mass is another interesting phenomenon of classical mechanics. Perhaps it is one of the most complicated topic that one can be easily confused in learning about mass, because mass has there are basically two types of mass in physics. One is inertial mass, other one is gravitational mass. And both type of mass has its function, its different function, and both type of mass are needed to be discussed, and thus they confuse us. In the previous section, we discussed a series of experiments that we used to calibrate a set of springs based on the accelerations given to a standard body when the springs were stressed to different lengths. Now we want to repeat those experiments to answer different questions. What effect will have the same force? What effect will the same force have when applied to different bodies? Everyday experience lets us to gaze at a qualitative answer. It is much easier to accelerate a bicycle than a car by pushing it. Clearly, the same force produces different accelerations when applied to different bodies. What makes these bodies differ in our ability to exert them? By pushing in their mass, which is the property of a body that determines its resistance to a change in its motion. Book clearly wants to go ahead to the direction of mass, the concept of mass, because mass, inertial mass actually means it provides the resistance to motion, because the more mass you have, the more resistive you become to motion. Let us see how we can study the relationship between force and mass accelerating bodies of different masses using our calibrated spring set. So the book really wants to give us a bunch of examples, which is great, which is why I like this book. So I'm reading from Physics Volume 1, by Resnick, Halliday, and Crane. Uh, I'm giving you the reference. The body, the mass of a body can thus be regarded as a quantitative measure of the resistance of a body to acceleration by a given force. See how they actually defined it. So the mass of a body can be regarded as a quantitative measure of the resistance of a body to acceleration by a given force. So inertial mass is basically equivalent to amount of resistance that you provide to a certain amount of given force. Here book has a bunch of examples again. You can go to page number 47 of 5th edition. I'm not going to repeat them. Even if I repeat them, you wouldn't understand. But I need to show you. So I will talk about Newton's second law in about 2 minutes.